Hey YouTube, it's Don here. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update on my Gen 3 Glock 19. It's pretty plain Jane, like the videos before. The most recent things I've done is I've added a Terran Tactical extended base plate. Pretty nice. Um, so instead of 15 and 1, that's 18 plus 1. And it was, like 40 something dollars with shipping. So reasonable. The Talon grips are working awesome. They really give you positive control of the firearm, which is what you want. And that was like 20 bucks for that instead of stippling the gun, which honestly I just have no want to do. I know a lot of people swear by stippling, and that's fine. That's just not something that I do. Also, I've purchased a couple 31 round magazines, and some of my friends kind of like, "Why'd you do that?" I'm like, "Well, why not? You know, what you see right in front of you, I have 96 bullets, ready to go for, what I have right in front of you. So that, I mean, that's a lot of firepower, 96 bullets. I mean, for in such a small package, it's pretty hard to beat. And the nice thing too about the 31 round magazines, they fit in the Glock 26 and the Glock 17, and they fit in a lot of pistol chambered carbines. So so if that's something I want to do, I can get a quality pistol carbine and rock these magazines. Am I going to do that? Probably not. I'm not really into the pistol carbines. If you're going to get a carbine, it needs to be like 5.56 or something like that, in my own opinion. That's just what I would do. But the magazines work flawlessly. I've not had any failure to feeds or any issues with them whatsoever. From start to finish, they function very well. So, no issues there. I have done a little bit of research for you guys, just to kind of give you just a quick comparison. Some pro and cons that I found really quickly with the gun that I think are really important. The cons, I think, are going to depend on you as the shooter. But some pros for this Glock obviously would be accuracy. It's got good quality accuracy. Obviously, it's a Glock. It's reliable. It's dependable. It's durable, and it's priced well. So I think that all of those things are, I think, things that you should be looking at before you purchase a defensive pistol or a fighting pistol. Now, granted, some people say, "Oh, what about magazine capacity?" Well, okay, so the standard fighting pistol or carry pistol, compact size. A lot of people, the standard's pretty much 15 and 15 rounds per magazine. Now, granted, some other pistols carry more. I'll get into that, but the standard is pretty much 15 rounds. So I'm not gonna say magazine capacity because for pistols like this and in this arena, I should say, of the compact pistols, 15 rounds is the standard for the most part. So obviously some subcompact's going to be, 5 or 6 rounds less. Full size maybe a couple more, that you'll get in a magazine. So those are the pros. The cons, obviously everyone talks about the Glock, the standard Glock sights. Totally could be better. I do shoot better with the 3-dot sight rather than the dot and then the little U. But hey, they work, I mean, and that's the most important thing. And they've worked since day one. So I don't know if that's really a con. Some people may say it is. Could be a better trigger. I mean, I feel like anyone could say that about any weapon. There always could be a better trigger. Again, that comes down to shooter preference. And so, the most important thing when you're out there trying to find a pistol that you want to carry for self-defense or shit hits the fan type situation, get out there, shoot a bunch of different handguns, see what you like, see what feels good in your hands. Everyone's different. This gun feels awesome in my hands. It actually feels better than my Smith & Wesson M&P VTAC that I had. I just, and just what you can do with this Glock, it's just seems to be not limitless, but more so than what you can do with other pistols, i.e. the 31 round magazines. You know, that's pretty huge in my opinion. So price points, I use gunbroker.com. That's where I do a lot of shopping if I'm looking at firearms or arms list, but I use Gunbroker this time just to give you guys some comparative price points, like the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0, like around $460 for the one I would want. And you got the Canik TP9SF, which that is 19 in one, I believe, the magazine, and that's the one I would want. It's around $450. Then you got the CZ P10C, and FDE is around $500. You got the Beretta M9A3 in FDE, which is like 800. It's kind of a ballpark. And then Old Faithful, the SIG P226. The one I would choose is a little over $1,000. So for those different price points, you have to decide kind of what's important to you. And I think the SIG's slightly overpriced. I even think the Beretta's slightly overpriced. And granted, those are both all metal frame pistols. They're not polymer, so they're going to be a little heavier. So that's something to take into consideration. If it's a duty firearm, I don't think weight's going to be that big of a deal. A lot of guys that are carrying, like the all metal frame guns are usually, carrying them in a drop holster on their leg. So it's, I think the weight's negligible, honestly, but that's just my own opinion. The Glock 19, the Gen 5 is, right around $550, $600. This is a Gen 3. I paid $425 for it, brand new. A buddy of mine who owns his own gun shop was just like, had like 10 of these laying around, and I was like, the Gen 4 was out, the Gen 5 was coming out when I got this gun, and I was just like, I've always heard good things about the Gen 3s, and it was just, the price was hard to beat. So I went with the Gen 3 instead, and I've, been totally happy with it. But it's just the price point. A lot of people, I'm on a budget. Okay, cool. Like, there's plenty of guns. Like, if I was on a very tight budget, I'd really be looking at the Canik. I mean, they have some quality pistols, that are, some of them are even under, $450. So if you're very budget minded, or you're on a very tight budget, there's something out there for you. Those would be the guns that I would choose from if I didn't have this Glock. So that's why I talked about the Canik and the CZ and the Beretta and the SIG and the Smith & Wesson, because those would be my next choices. But for the most part, all in all, I mean, I just think what you're getting from Glock is just a little bit better, and that's just my own opinion as far as combat experience, as far as just the lineage where the Glock comes from and what you're getting, and how it served many allied countries in hostile environments, and continue to work and function properly, and to deliver the goods. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. Not to say that the other pistols haven't been, but I just think Glock has a little more history behind it, and has been used in a lot of different theaters, whether it be in combat, or in law enforcement, or even in self-defense. So, for civilian use. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Keep shooting, stay safe, and Semper Fi.